So, welcome back again to my channel. By the way, I'm Gutierrez Donald A, and for today's video, I'm going to make a tutorial for chapter 2. So, let's start. So, chapter 2 entitled Operating System. So, all end devices and network device require an operating system OS. So, as shown in the figure, the portion of the OS that interacts directly with computer hardware is known as the kernel. So the portion that interfaces with applications and the user is known as the shell. So the user can interact with the shell using a command line interface, CLI, or a graphical user interface, GUI. So when using a CLI as shown in figure 2, the user interacts directly with the system in a text-based environment by entering commands on the keyboard at a command prompt. So the system executes the command often providing textual output. The CLI requires very little overhead to operate. However, it does require that the user have knowledge of the underlying structure that controls the system. So a GUI interface such as Windows OS X, Apple iOS, or Android allows the user to interact with the system using an environment of graphical icons and windows. So the GUI example is more user-friendly and requires less knowledge of the underlying command structure that controls the system. So for this reason, many individuals rely on GUI environments. So however, GUIs may not always be able to provide all of the features available at the CLI. So GUIs can also fail, crash, or simply not operate as specified. For these reasons, network devices are typically accessed through a CLI. The CLI is less resource intensive and very stable when compared to a GUI. So the network operating system used on Cisco device is called the Cisco Internet Network Operating System iOS. Cisco iOS is used for most Cisco devices regardless of the type or size of the device. So the operating system on home routers is usually called firmware. So the most common method for configuring a home router is by using a web browser based GUI. So purpose of OS. So network operating system are similar to a PC operating system through a GUI. A PC operating system enables a user to use a mouse to make selections and run programs. Enter text and text-based commands. View output on a monitor. A CLI-based network operating system like the Cisco iOS on a switch or router enables a network technician to use a keyboard to run CLI-based network programs, use a keyboard to enter text and text-based commands, and view output on a monitor. So Cisco networking device run particular versions of the Cisco iOS. The iOS version is dependent on the type of device being used and the required features. While all devices come with default iOS and feature set, it is possible to upgrade the iOS version or feature set to obtain additional capabilities. In this course, you will focus primarily on Cisco iOS release 15.x. The figure displays a list of iOS software releases for Cisco Catalyst switch. So let's move to the activity that we have. So read the instruction first. Select the most appropriate access method for each scenario. So we have 8 choices here in table: console, telnet, SSH, and AUX. So you need to select the appropriate answer here for you to successfully answer it. So first is you are in the equipment room with a new switch that needs to be configured. So you need to have a console. Your manager gives you a special cable and tells you to use it to configure the switch. So it's console again, and you access the iOS by using another intermediary device over a network connections. So it's telnet SSH, and the last one is you call your manager to tell him you cannot access your router in another city over the internet. He provides you with the information to access the router through a telephone connection. So it's AUX. So it successfully matched the most appropriate access method to each scenario. So that's all for today's video. So thank you for watching, and I hope you understand this video.